We are live. Welcome to the Dropshot episode 12. My name is Casey, also known as Razanon. I am joined, as always, by my good friend Tanner. Say hello to everyone, Tanner.
Hello, everyone.
And today we've got some stuff to go over. A couple of little announcements that may be of some interest to you guys. And yeah, this should be a pretty fun episode. Tanner and I have gotten some time to play Warzone and Plunder, so we'll have some thoughts to share on those toward the end as well. And then, of course, on our Wednesday episodes, we're going over patch notes, news, shit like that. I went for a run today because I've been working from home due to the coronavirus. And I hadn't left my bedroom in like 5 days. So I had to get out of my house. So if I cough, I am not infected. You don't need to leave the stream. You are safe here, I promise. Okay, so keep that in mind. Cobalt Tick, what's up, dude? Dropshot hype? Hell fucking yeah, brother. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. All right, so yeah, so announcements. Once again, I am imploring everyone to join the fucking Discord. Dude, why does my Discord button keep disappearing? This is so annoying. I don't know why it keeps disappearing, but I linked it for you in Twitch chat. Just a reminder to everyone, this is streamed live on my Twitch channel, which you can find in at twitch.tv/Razanon. I'm trying to go through some technical difficulties here, so bear with me for just a fucking moment. But we should be good right about now. So hopefully that fucking stays working. Anyway, so yeah, you can make sure to please join the Discord. It's kind of popping now. We're getting some more people to funnel in. So we've got a general chat section, multiplayer section, Warzone section, all the voice channels you could possibly want. So if you and your buddies wanted a Discord you could always use, feel free to join ours. You can just hop in a channel and use it as if it's your own. And of course, we've got some places for you to find people to run with. We've been running with some people ourselves from those looking for squad sections, so you could do that. And we also have, lastly, the call-in applications section. So you could apply to call into the podcast and have your question answered. And as hype as fuck as this is, we have our first call-in today. And it's going to be fun and exciting. So we're going to test out how well this works, how much you guys like it. And Tanner and I are excited to do that. Cobalt Tick with the fucking Twitch sub, dude. Hell yeah. I was going to say Twitch Prime because I'm so used to getting those, but this was just a good old-fashioned fucking sub. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I'm honored and privileged to have you in this small, fucking, humble community, dude. Hell yeah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I'm honored. I'm happy to see that. Fantastic. And I'm glad you found your way to watch live. It's a whole different experience. So keep that the fuck in mind. And keeping it humble. Hell fucking yeah, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. By the way, Tanner, do you have my stream open?
Yeah.
Tell me if it starts lagging at all.
Okay.
Because I'm seeing dropped frames, but it's very few. So I think it should be fine.
Everything's been fine. There's a longer delay than normal, but...
Longer delay than normal. Interesting. Okay. All right, well, I need to turn on my fan. So let's see here. All right, anyways, without further ado, that's it for the announcements. We're going to do a call-in. Like I said, if you guys wanted to call in, make sure you join the Discord, and then there's a call-in application section. Just answer a couple questions, and then we'll have you call in on the next episode. You just have to make sure you're available when we're live, obviously, which is typically Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. What was I going to say? And then lastly, we have a suggestions thing. So if you think we could make this small, humble stream any better, you could let us know how there. So let me turn my fan on, then we'll get started here. Maybe I do have corona, dude. I'm coughing. I'm overheating. I can't regulate my body temperature.
Jeez, dude.
It's just a disaster.
How far did you run today?
Just like 2 miles.
Damn, dude.
But it was hilly. It was hilly.
Yeah,
and I also
hilly
haven't
area.
exercised 1 iota in like a year. So it was a shock to my fragile system for sure. So we got a couple things to go over. Cobalt, thank you again, brother. I appreciate it. Really starting us off right here. And now we're going to get into some recent patches this week in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, playlist updates, and more. So there honestly hasn't been too much this week besides the big announcement, which is Warzone solo queue, which we're going to get into a little later. But as far as multiplayer goes, we got 10v10 Atlas Superstore 24/7, which is super strange to me. Why do you think? Here's my theory. Everyone in the United States of America is constantly in a grocery store right now, just raiding fucking shelves for toilet paper and white rice. And so to keep everyone comfortable, they've made the grocery store map, the one grocery store map, a permanent playlist in the game. Because that's the only thing that makes sense. Because it's not a particularly good map to have as a 24/7 playlist. Like, why would they pick? Is this popular?
I think it is.
Have you seen that people are like liking this playlist?
Okay, actually though, it's funny you say that because I'm pretty sure that's the reason they do it, because the whole virus thing, everyone going to the grocery store. The playlist is called like Doorbusters or something too.
Is it really?
So I feel, yeah, it's called like Doorbusters. So I think they're playing it up.
Yeah, maybe.
Enjoy it. I played it earlier today.
I mean, it's not a bad map, so I'm not furious about it, but it's not like popular. It's not like Shipment. Like Shipment, I understand. That's a super popular map. But fucking Atlas Superstore just doesn't seem that popular to me. So it's very strange.
Yeah, nobody actually enjoys Shipment though. They're just playing it to rank shit up.
I enjoy Shipment, dude. I like Shipment. You just have to run EOD and Battle Hardened. So Atlas is the last canonical place that has toilet paper. Yeah, true. Is there toilet paper on that map?
Has to be somewhere.
Imagine if they added toilet paper to that map and just didn't tell anyone.
Dude.
What is these dropped frames, brother?
You're not dropping frames. Ignore it.
It's so weird. It keeps telling me. All right. So Twitch chat, if you guys notice I'm dropping frames, let me know and I'll start this bitch over. Sorry, my internet's been kind of weird. I think it's like everyone's on the internet because no one has a job anymore. Oh yeah, let me add no one has a job anymore to this. Okay. But anyway. So yeah, there's 10v10 Atlas Superstore, Mercenary Mosh Pit, which I think is 10v10s, but you can't queue with anyone, so it's like solo queue only. This is a really cool option for people with no friends or when no one's online. Like, I actually really like Mercenary playlists because there's a lot of times where I have like no one else online and I don't want to get fucking steamrolled by like groups of people. I especially liked this in Black Ops 4 when I wanted to play alone, and the player base was so small that like everyone that was good always played with each other. So if I queued by myself, I would queue into a 4 stack of level 1000s, and in 30 seconds there would be a Thresher, Mantis, Attack Chopper, and Sniper Helo at the same time, and then the fucking strike team would come in like a minute later, and it was a disaster. So Mercenary Mosh Pit's cool for that. And then Cranked Kill Confirmed, I think this is also 10s. Cranked is just once you get a kill, you have 30 seconds to get another kill or you just die. But if you get another kill, then it goes back to 30 seconds. So it forces people to not camp and run around. And Kill Confirmed also forces people to not camp if they want to win, because they have to run out of a camping spot to collect tags, even though that's never how I play Kill Confirmed. So that's really high pace, fast pace gameplay there. So no frame drop here. All right, cool, Cobalt. Thanks, brother. Thank you. Also, St. Patrick's Day themed bundle. I had a couple beers last night along with Tanner in celebration of St. Patty's Day. So that was fun. He had whiskey like a true Irishman, so good for him. So some dumb shit in the store that no one really cares about. Let's see.
It's a nice screenshot.
This one right here?
It's a really nice screenshot.
Yeah, super cinematic. Too bad the gameplay doesn't live up, so.
Okay, we'll get to that.
And yeah, we'll certainly get to that. Players new to Warzone should consider ranking up by completing missions. So there's missions for Warzone. I don't know if they added more. Do you know, Tanner?
I don't think so. I don't play Warzone, so.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, there's some Warzone missions. But we're going to get into that in our call-in section, actually. And then there's some double XP, double weapon XP, double battle pass tier progression, too. I like that they've done so much double tier progression because they're really giving people a chance to unlock all the tiers. Because they've given a lot, dude. Like at least 3 or 4, which has been nice.
There's been way too much, yeah.
Too much?
Yeah. Dude, I hate when everyone hits the top tier. I wish it was only the nerds that played a lot.
There is an argument to be made for that. But then people would complain that they're just like trying to get everyone's money. So they're like, you know, like, dude, it's impossible to hit 100 unless you have no life. And they never give us double XP. I think it's a smart business play.
True.
Because I still bought tiers. 23 of them, in fact.
Of course you did, yeah. Did you really? Was it 23? Oh my god.
Well, 20 is with the bundle. The battle pass bundle.
Oh.
And then I just bought the last 3 because I was pissed about being at 97. So.
Well, I bought the 20 as well. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. And then that's pretty much it for this one. Then they did a tier sale too. So none of you Dropshot listeners should give a fuck about that. Let's see what else we have here.
Damn.
So then we got another playlist update. I'm not even sure Atlas Superstore 24/7 is still in the game. They had a playlist update that they kept in for like 2 minutes, and I think that might have been it. But,
no, it's in the game. I played it today.
Oh, you did? Okay. Okay. So here, what else do we have here? A couple general bug fixes. Does any of this matter? Not really. I mean, basically, yeah, none of these bugs were like game breaking to me, so I'm not going to go through all of them. In fact, I'm not going to go through any of them. Fix for an exploit where players were able to shoot while downed. I never figured that out, but they fixed it. So a lot of bug fixes, supposedly. You can never really trust these patch notes, so half of those bugs are probably still in the game, and there's probably twice as many added. So keep that in mind.
Well, the one everybody was waiting for was the kills are now credited to the person who downed
right.
the enemy player. That was the only one people cared about. All of the other bugs, I honestly didn't know any of these existed. I haven't came across them.
Yeah, so that's a good change that everyone was bitching about, which is if you down the guy, you should get credit for the kill, irrespective of who ends up actually killing him. Which I think is a good change. I think everyone thinks it's a good change. And I'm surprised it wasn't in the game to begin with. Because that's how every other BR works, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so weird. And then lastly, as far as like new shit goes, we have Battle Royale solos. Which is, again, for those of you who have no friends, fantastic. And it really does change significantly how Warzone plays. How much solos have you done, Tanner?
So I've played 4 rounds. I've died within the first 5 minutes every single time. I got finishing moved because I couldn't hear his footsteps because they're broken in Warzone.
Still.
And he didn't have dead silence.
Yep.
I ran into a building one time, was looting, and a kid was sitting in a closet and shotgunned me. And that was the last time I played solos, and I will never queue it again. I can promise you that.
Yeah. Yeah, that does happen. So everyone's been bitching about that too. And in all those little bug fixes that I didn't read to you guys, a change to footstep audio was not among them. That seems like something that would be relatively easy to change. Like, how often did they change the footstep volume when the game first came out and like multiplayer? Like a lot and pretty quickly, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I don't see why they couldn't do that for Warzone, because it's been quite a while and it actually is kind of game breaking, like how quiet the footsteps are without dead silence.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. Hopefully they do that soon. I'm sure they will, because people are still absolutely clamoring about it. But go on with your solo experience. So you're pissed about the footstep volume.
I mean, that's really it. I've just always hated Battle Royale solos. It's never been for me. I don't know. Honestly, a big part of it is I hate like being scared of somebody just hiding in a random corner, and that happens all the time. And I hate just being like just suddenly shot at, and it just literally scaring me and me jumping in real life.
Dude, that happened.
That's what always happens
dude.
in solos, because nobody moves. They don't move. They find a building in the middle and they don't move ever.
That happened to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least in trios, everyone's running around, but solos, I fucking hate it. It's nothing to do with the game, though. It's just every BR, Fortnite, PUBG, I've never liked solos. H1Z1 fucking hated it every time. So,
did you ever get sent to the gulag doing solos?
Yeah, and I left every single time. There was no point in doing that.
You didn't even do it? Interesting.
The gulag is a shit mechanic and should be removed from Warzone.
Interesting you say that, because let me tell you, I've played a little bit of solos, probably less than you. I've done 4 max. I think I've done like 2 or 3. I think I've done 3 or 4 actually. But one of the games I drop in, I get 2 kills, I think. So I have like a decent setup, but I have an MP7 and a shotgun. I see a dude way too far away. He has an AR of some kind and I die. And then I get sent to the gulag. I win my gulag match. And then because I stunned him first, by the way, that's the only determining factor. Whoever stuns the other person in gulag, in the 1v1, the gunfight in the gulag, wins every time. You can't move your character. You know what I noticed, dude? Here's the problem. I just thought of this. When you're doing regular gunfight, like 2v2s in the gunfight playlist, everyone has EOD and battle hardened, no matter what your class setup is. Always. In the gulag 1v1s, you don't. So if you get stunned, you can't move for 2 minutes. And then you just die. That's the problem. So for all you devs listening, and I know some of you are subscribed to me, I've gotten your DMs. Mo Recot. I was trying to, it doesn't matter. That's okay, so that's that joke.
Agreed.
But that's what needs to change. Add battle hardened to the gulag, just like you do for regular gunfight. That's the problem. It just occurred to me. So keep that in mind. Anyway,
that makes the most sense.
Anyway, to continue my story, sorry. So of course I win because I stunned him first, as I was saying. I get the fuck out of the gulag. I get $6,000 by doing just nonstop contracts, avoiding people. And then I was watching Swag on his first solo win, and his strategy was to always be in a car, like a vehicle, specifically the cargo truck, because it's really hard to shoot someone into that because it's actually pretty well armored. So I would like do a contract, get in my truck, drive around to another contract, get back in my truck. I got a couple kills along the way because as soon as I had $6,000, I had my ideal setup and I had like really good guns to do gunfights with. And I ended up getting 7th place. So not the best performance, but I'm also the newest person to BR's #1. And I got sent to the gulag. So the gulag was nice for me in that game because it was the difference between 7th place or 120th place. So keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I liked it. This is exactly what I said about the gulag system in our last episode. I think it's going to be a lot cooler in solos than it is in 3s. Because in 3s, if you lose your gulag match, that's fine. They'll just buy you back. It's super cheap. But in solos, you're out of the game if you lose, brother. So the stakes are high. It makes it cool. And I was able to like reasonably come back. So anyways,
yeah, that makes sense.
But all that to say, solo Warzone plays so much differently than threes, as you would expect. So keep that in mind. And then there's a couple other little things. Exclusive Ace, I reference him in almost every episode I do. If you guys want like insider detailed knowledge about Call of Duty, I recommend you find his YouTube channel and subscribe to it. The Exclusive Ace. Just put that in YouTube and you'll find his channel. He makes videos on like how much damage does a SCAR do if you shoot in the head versus the body, at what range. He has nice graphs, really detailed information on pretty much every metric in the game. So he released a video about Warzone and some of the ways that armor works and headshots and things like that. So here are a couple key takeaways. This isn't all the information. I suggest you go watch the video yourselves to get like a full overview. But the key takeaways from my viewing, the armor plates. So first of all, your health total is exactly the same as multiplayer, and it regens at the exact same rate as multiplayer. So you have 100 health in multiplayer. You have 100 health in Warzone. But you can add armor plates, and armor plates are 50 health each, roughly. So it's 100 plus up to 3 armor plates, 250 health max. And then with headshots, if you headshot someone, you still have to damage. It's still going to damage their armor before it damages their health pool. But the headshot multiplier still works. So if I shoot you in the body with an Odin and you have no armor, I'm going to put you down to 49 health. If I shoot you in the head, and you have armor, I'm going to take your 250 total health pool and take it down to like 170. So it's still going to do the same multiplier. It's still going to do more damage. It's still worth going for headshots, but they don't ignore armor. The armor is literally just bonus health. That's the only way you need to think about it. So getting headshots on someone with armor is still good, but you're not going to start doing damage to their health total until you've done enough damage to go through their armor. But getting headshots is good because it chews through their armor more quickly. So basically works exactly the same as it does in multiplayer. The only exception is the AX50 and the HDR will always down someone in one headshot. So I'm not sure if in multiplayer it technically does 250 damage, but it doesn't matter. If you land a headshot with an AX50 or an HDR, no matter how much health they have, they will go down in one headshot always. But other than those two guns, in those very specific instances, the multiplayer weapons work exactly the same in multiplayer as they do in Warzone. The only difference is Warzone has armor, so you can have more health, but it isn't region specific. So those were some interesting notes about Warzone. So you can take that information and do with it what you will. Basically, headshots are still worth going for if you can get them. And that is literally it for recent patches. And we're going to have some words about that later on. So next we've got some news and upcoming changes. No upcoming changes, actually. Just a bunch of news, really. Every CDL event has been canceled. So the Call of Duty League is where... I'm sure you guys who are listening, maybe some of you don't know about it. I'm not really super invested in it. But it's there's a bunch of like pro teams, CDLs, the Call of Duty League. And how these events typically go is there's like a season every year while the game is out where there's like 8 teams or so, and they'll all go to like an arena, an event center, and they will have little tournaments to get like tournament points, and then that will culminate in like a grand finals at the end of the year. So they would play these tournaments next to each other so that they could LAN, which means there's no latency to deal with. Internet connection doesn't matter. There's no latency. It's all LAN. And these guys will tell you, and this is true, the game plays way differently, on LAN than it does online. Because, I mean, depending on your ping, where you're located, where the server's located, where the enemy's located, that can really fuck you up. And I'm sure everyone listening has had experience with that. If you have like 130 ping and you're trying to do well, it's really hard. Imagine that on the pro scene during the grand finals. You have to hope that your ping is like lower than the enemy teams. It's kind of crazy, but and I'm not sure how they're going to monitor cheating. So that's interesting.
I mean, it used to always be all online mostly. This year was the first year they've ever done this many LAN tournaments by far.
Really?
And it's because the way how it's like a corporate thing now, basically, where you had to have deep pockets to buy in, and it's like, you know, based on what city you're in. It's totally different this year than it's ever been. It was way more LAN focused, so they're pretty much used to it, I believe. It's just you'll see certain teams that did awful on LAN suddenly get a bunch of wins, and they're a lot better online than on LAN. Some people just they can't do it on LAN, you know.
Yeah, there have been some. Yeah, there have been some considerable back and forths, trash talk amongst those 19-year-old Call of Duty pros about LAN versus online. Like, oh, you think you're hot shit online? We're gonna fuck your ass in LAN, and etc. So interesting. I think the nerves factor for sure plays a role in that. You're definitely going to be less nervous if you're playing the grand finals, if you're at your own desk in your pajamas, versus on some stage and a bunch of people with signs cheering, flashing you. That never happens, but you know what I mean. So that's interesting. Do you think anyone gets caught cheating this year, since it's way more possible now?
Absolutely not. How do people even cheat on console?
I don't have a console. I haven't had one for 10 years, so I would know.
You haven't had one since you were 12, basically.
Do they still have Game Shark?
I don't know what that is. Number one and number two.
That's a boomer reference. I'm surprised you didn't get it.
Game Shark. What is it?
It was like this CD you would buy. Like, okay, so for PS1 is when I had Game Shark, or when I like got one or whatever. It's like a CD that just has a bunch of cheats for like popular games. So it'd be like Crash Bandicoot cheat. You'd like put in your Game Shark, and like, I don't really remember how it works, honestly, but I do remember there being something called Game Shark, and you could like do cheats with it. Obviously in PS1, there was no, what's it called? Like, online play or anything.
No.
But
I know I used to always print up all the cheat codes from like, what were the big website? I think it was just honestly called like cheatcodes.com or something.
It was cheatcodes.com, I think. Because I used that too.
Everything from like Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto was the
Medal
one,
of
dude.
Honor. Yeah, the Grand Theft Auto ones were the biggest ones. It's funny too, because back then when you're a little ass kid, it's so fun to like be invincible and spawn tanks, but now I'm just like, dude, that shit's dumb. That's not fun because you can't die.
Yeah, that's super boring nowadays. But when I was 10 playing as Tommy Vercetti on the streets of Vice City, I actually memorized the infinite tanks cheat, or the spawn a tank cheat. That's how much I used it. That's how much of a piece of a murderous sociopathic piece of dog shit I was. So anyway, I don't think there's going to be any cheaters.
Also, though, speaking of that, people have been caught cheating in CSGO on LAN. This one dude one time was cheating on LAN with something that, like, when they walk by and look at your screen, they don't see. But it was like a form of aimbot, kind of when he got close. It basically, I think, latched onto them or something similar to that. But it was crazy on LAN, dude.
That's weird. I've heard about that in other games where they like. It's like some guy had like a file that he like put into his like LAN computer, like the tournament one, that was like 55 kilobytes. So he didn't think anyone would find it or something, but they did. It's weird. Cobalt. Oh shit. Cobalt Tick with the gifted sub to bite me. Hell fucking yeah, brother. I'm honored and privileged. Thank you, man. I appreciate that very much. Hell fucking
Let's go.
yeah. Dude, that command works for me now. My stream deck's all fucked up, dude. I gotta fix it.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, weird. But Cobalt, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And congratulations, Bite Me. Don't bite me for that tier 1 sub. Thank you, dude. Thank you for the gifted sub. Fuck yeah, man. You love to see it. You love to hear it. Super humbled, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The most humble streamer on Twitch. That's what they call him.
Welcome, Bite Me, to this small, humble community, dude. We're going to be fucking podcasting so much more soon. As soon as Joe Seacott finds out that this podcast exists. So make sure you tweet at him and tell him to watch. And then he's going to IP ban me from his game for talking so much shit about it. So.
Damn, dude.
Ooh, all right. Thank you, Cobalt. So moving on from this, in light of the CDL events being canceled, by the way, they were canceled in case you guys are actually fucking idiots and never read anything. They got canceled because of something called the coronavirus, which is like in the United States, like the number of COVID cases is like doubling every day. So in light of that, they've canceled all the events, along with fucking everything is being canceled. So CDL is one of those things. And in light of that, there are about 1 million online tournaments that people are doing, like community tournaments. So I'm going to pull some up for you guys here. We've got this one. Twitch Esports tweeted, Twitch Rivals Call of Duty Warzone Showdown, March 25th and 26th. I should mention these are all coming up relatively soon. So if you guys wanted to watch these, get your calendars out and circle the dates. So 25th and 26th, Twitch Rivals. If you're a partner or affiliate, you could qualify for a chance to play. By the way, spoiler alert to you affiliates listening out there who are getting ambitious. You're absolutely fucking not going to get in a Twitch Rivals tournament as an affiliate. There's no way. This is going to be super popular streamers, especially with a game like Call of Duty Warzone, with how popular that is right now. If you're some fucking asshole affiliate like me, with like, you know, a very small, humble following, you're not getting in a Twitch Rivals tournament, but you could watch on the 25th and the 26th. So there's some links there. You could go to Twitch Esports on Twitter for more details on that. We've got another one by 100 Thieves. This one is a 100K prize pool. It's called the Warzone from Home Tournament, presented by the Cash App, which is owned by Twitter, by the way. Jack Dorsey is the owner of this. So every podcast in existence is sponsored by the Cash App. And on a totally unrelated note, I want to say here on this podcast that I love the Cash App. And I could say so many excellent things about the Cash App. It's such a fantastic service.
Really?
So if you guys are looking for more extremely popular podcasts to advertise on, just go ahead and reach out to RAZINON on Twitter. My DMs are open. So keep that in mind. And then what else do we have here? So that's hosted also by Maven and MLG Puckett. I don't know who those people are. But if you guys are fans of CDL, maybe you do know who they are. So if that interests you, cool. And then Keemstar.
Good old Keemstar.
Good old Keemstar, dude. He's got a video for us. So I'm going to let this play and I'm going to listen. Hopefully he doesn't copy strike me.
He will.
I don't think you can for a Twitter video, but if he can, the Dropshot LLC attorneys have retained Black Martin. I made that up. It's probably the name of a law firm, though. So keep that in mind, Keemstar. My attorneys are ready to respond to any litigation, but let's listen. Let's watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time since the Friday fortnights, since the Minecraft Mondays, but these times call for something different. Warzone Wednesdays. A $20,000 weekly prize pool where the biggest streamers, the biggest online entertainers, athletes, rappers, entertainers across the globe compete. Why did I have to mess up? God damn it, I was going so perfect. It sounded so good. Warzone Wednesday starting next Wednesday. If you're a streamer, hit me up because we're about to take over this whole lane.
That was the worst ad I've ever seen. I don't endorse the quality of that ad, and I'm sorry I showed it on this podcast. So, despite that, it's pretty cool. Warzone Wednesdays. So, is this going to be... How long do you think this lasts? How many weeks do you think a $20,000 a week tournament lasts?
I don't know. He did it for a long time in Fortnite. I'll say in Warzone, 2 months.
It's gonna, yeah, probably, because they raise a lot of money doing this. They raise more than $20,000, obviously.
Yeah, he doesn't spend a dime on it, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's true. That is true. What's up, Itchy? The moment Valorant drops, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, Warzone is not going to be as popular as Fortnite. I can fucking guarantee it. So keep that in mind. I don't think Valorant's going to be popular either because it looks like it takes way too much skill. And the modern gaming landscape in 2020 is not to make games for skilled players that require skill. It's to make like really kids gloves, nerf the world, noob friendly, casual, appeal to the masses games like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. So Valorant's not going to be that popular, but I don't think Warzone's going to last very long either, to be honest. And we're going to get into that a little later.
Oh yeah, we will. Huh?
So that's interesting. And then here's the last one I could find. I think there are even more tournaments, like online tournaments in the works or that have already been announced, but I'm not going to find them all. So Boom TV, never heard of them. So this is a good move on their part. They're getting in on this free publicity. Excited to announce this week's Code Red is officially Code Green. What's with all the cringy fucking ads, dude? Anyway, $50,000 Code Green featuring Warzone presented by the Cash App. By the way, I just wanted to let you guys know the Cash App is a wonderful service. It's a great app. And I have so many good things I could say about it. So if maybe the Cash App wanted to sponsor yet another podcast, my DMs are open once again. That's RAZINON on Twitter. Sorry for the interruption. So that's going to be tomorrow, actually, at 1 p.m. PST. No one has a job anymore, so I guess this isn't going to be an issue. So, yeah, if you ain't got shit to do, if you're laid off, you're sad about it, you can watch some Warzone gameplay. Go Boom TV is their Twitter handle, so if you wanted more details on that, you could find it there. I'm sure you could Google, like, any Warzone tournament, and it'll come up, though. So... Oh shit, Cobalt. Dude, Cobalt going off today. 2 more fucking gifted subs for a total of 3. What an honor and a privilege, dude. Harold, also known as Valic XD, last chicken left. Welcome to this small, humble community. I'm honored. I'm privileged. Cobalt, I am eternally grateful, dude. Thank you very much.
Damn, dude, what I miss? Holy shit.
I know. So Cobalt's going ham, dude. It's fucking crazy. Thank you so much, Cobalt. I really appreciate it, man. 3 subs and a sub himself, dude. This guy's a fucking legend, dude. Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah.
Also, before we move any further,
okay,
Itchy, Valorant is not going to do anything to this game. People don't care other than if you play Overwatch and CSGO. Nobody else cares about it. So keep that in mind.
I tend to agree with that. Itchy. Tier 2 resub, dude. And he keeps his founder badge once again. Itchy, I'm honored. I'm humbled. I'm privileged. Thank you very much, Itchy. You've supported me a lot throughout the years. And it does not go unnoticed. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Stay safe from the coronavirus. I hope you are. I think Nevada's pretty safe. All the viruses probably die in that sweltering heat anyway. Thank you very much, my friend.
It's not in Nevada, but
he's gonna be in Las Vegas, but I guess he's in Chicago.
yeah.
Well, all right, maybe I just doxed Itchy.
That's crazy that you don't know exactly where every one of your subs lives. Damn,
Okay,
you're a shit streamer.
suck my cock.
Shit
Suck
streamer
my cock.
for sure. Yeah.
A very humbling stream. I got life shit to do. You guys rock. Thank you, Cobalt. Thanks for checking out the stream, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you could make it here live, and thank you very much for the gifted subs, dude. Big fucking thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I was there last week and got sick as fuck, but K. Okay. Well, maybe you should have played Warzone with us, then you wouldn't have gotten sick. So keep that in mind. Yeah, hell yeah, Chicken. Congratulations, dude. Subbed as fuck, brother. Let's get some fucking Razano goods in here for how good this fucking stream is going right now. Holy shit. So much generosity.
I threw mine in there.
I very much appreciate it, Kings. Very much appreciate it. So if you're listening to this on iTunes, Twitter, Instagram, you don't listen on Instagram, iTunes, Twitter, not Twitter either, Jesus. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, etc. Make sure you're following me on Twitch so you could join the conversation live like these fine young gentlemen have. That's at twitch.tv/Razanon. Wednesdays, Saturdays, 7 p.m. Pacific. Obviously in the evenings. And now you guys have no excuse not to be here because you don't have a fucking job. Thanks, coronavirus. So keep that in mind. Let's see. So that's it for that one. So now we're going to go into our call-in segment. All right, so here we go. So this is our first call-in section. Damascus, it's an honor and a privilege to have you here. You are Damascus Impaler on Twitch and in-game, also known as Chris. You play on PS4. You started playing CoD with Modern Warfare, the early one. Is that CoD 4?
Yes, that's correct.
So how old are you?
38 years old.
Yeah, okay. You're a boomer like us. Only us boomers are playing fucking CoD 4. I don't think I even played CoD 4. I started with MW2, but Tanner started with CoD 4.
I definitely did. We
Back
probably
in
played
the
against
day.
each other.
Were you on console then too?
Actually, when I first started playing the game, it was on LAN. While I was in the Navy, we were out at sea, and they just hooked up a bunch of computers, and
Dude.
that's how we first started playing.
So on PC over LAN?
Yeah, we had a little computer lab with about 8 computers.
That's fucking sick, dude. So some nice 4v4s? Damn, that's crazy. So was it like the new frogs versus like the I don't know, corporals? Is corporal like more senior than a new person? They are, right? Wait, are corporals in the Navy?
No, they're not in the Navy.
Okay. What would be the equivalent of a corporal in the Navy? Do you know? Like an ensign or some shit? This is how little military knowledge I have. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I have no clue. I really don't. I just know if it's brass, salute it.
Yeah. Amen, brother. All right. So what's your question for today?
Well, my question is exactly how is Infinity Ward planning on making this Warzone stick?
So, okay. And so you're implying, what I'm assuming you're implying is that right now it doesn't seem like it has much sticking power. Is that fair to say?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I've played maybe 8 games and I'm already getting a little bit bored, but, you know, I'm more or less still going after the Damascus skins right now, so I haven't really gotten into it too much.
Exactly. Tanner, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I to be honest, I don't know how they're going to get it to stick. I definitely agree with you. I kind of had that same question. That's why I already said at one point there needs to be a separate ranking system. There has to be a separate ranking system for Warzone. There needs to be a separate battle pass you can purchase. There's no reason to play it. You're right. That's what I've said, it just gets boring too fast. There's nothing. I mean, the challenges are dumb. It's like land at farmland and start a contract. And the next one is get 3 kills in a vehicle. It's just, they're boring. They're dumb. They don't want to keep me playing. The biggest thing is, if you're winning a lot, then I guess you're enjoying it. But we've hardly won. And it's not the greatest time in the world, and I don't want to keep going back to it. And I think it has to come down to it needs a battle pass and it needs a ranking system. And there's no other reason to play it, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I think you actually kind of hit on it too. So you were saying like, well, I played some Warzone, but I'm still kind of grinding for Damascus, which kind of pulls me away from Warzone. And that's exactly like how I feel about it. So in multiplayer in this game, you have Damascus to grind for. You have a bunch of challenges. You have some calling cards. There's like the nuclear calling card. And this is something Black Ops 4 did way better than Modern Warfare did. There are a million challenges in BO4. And a lot of them take a lot of time to do. And they're fun to grind toward. And they had like those Dark Ops challenges too. So like, especially when a game first launches and no one knows what the Dark Ops challenges are, that's really fun to have those in there. Imagine you're the guy who shuts down Ruin after he grapples into a slam, and you're the first one to get that secret calling card. There was no way to know that that was going to be the calling card. We probably knew there was going to be a nuclear calling card in those Dark Ops ones, but there were a lot like that where it's just like, I have no idea how to get this. Let me game more and try and do some crazy shit to unlock this and have some sense of progression. Not to mention the traditional prestige system up to 1,000. You were always progressing towards something, and there was virtually always something to grind. In Call of Duty Modern Warfare, there is a lot less of that. There's no prestige system. Experience is totally meaningless after level 55, and it never gets reset below level 55. So you unlock everything really easily and really quickly. Damascus does take forever, but it's only one thing, and it doesn't take nearly as long as unlocking like everything in BO4 would take. But regardless of that, there's still some amount of stuff to grind for in Modern Warfare multiplayer. What does Warzone have? Literally nothing. If you get first place, there's no calling card. There's no challenge for winning 10 times for a calling card. There's no challenge for getting 20 kills in one game that gets you a calling card or an emblem. There's no reward whatsoever. And that's another problem. This is exactly why I agree with Tanner and why they should have the merged, they should not have the merged ranking systems. Because from my perspective and Tanner's perspective, we have nothing else to grind for in this game, in multiplayer or in Warzone. But particularly in Warzone, because we're already level 155. Like, there's nothing else for us to get in Warzone. There's nothing for us to get in multiplayer either. But playing Warzone is not going... There's nothing to grind for. And it does beg the question, are they going to ever add something? How long is it going to take? What are they going to add? And I am not optimistic about that, especially because in multiplayer, there's still very little to grind for. And they're not going to be able to add things as fast as people can grind for stuff. That's what BO4 did right. All those challenges were in day one, and there was a million things to do and to try and make progress on. But the fact that you don't get an emblem or a calling card for getting a win or getting 20 kills in one game is unconscionable. So you could play it for like the fun of the game, but even if you're a free-to-play player, you're going to hit level 155 pretty quickly. And then what? What the fuck else are you going to do? You don't even have camos to grind for in Warzone. So for a free-to-play player, I think it's even worse. Like, you're going to get level 155 and there's just no more progression for you. The only reason you would play is to have fun. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but in 2020, in this landscape of gaming where there's all kinds of dopamine hits that are endemic to every other game, and that's what makes all these other games so addictive and so fun, is that you're always grinding toward the next little thing. Because you could say like, oh, well, COD 4, the game you two started on, it didn't have that much shit either. First of all, it had more shit than Modern Warfare, actually. And second of all, it came out, what, 15 years ago? Like, yeah, times have changed. So, overall, my answer to your question is that as of now, there's nothing that's going to bring people back for repeat play. And that's why I was saying earlier on when we were talking about Valorant, like, when we were talking about Keemstar's tournament, that shit's not going to last long. The hype's going to die down. This game is still super new, and the honeymoon phase hasn't worn off yet. But when the game isn't intrinsically fun anymore, people are going to start going back to multiplayer. If they're a free-to-play player, they're going to go back to Fortnite where they can get their rare fucking skins or whatever. And they're just going to leave this game. And they're going to add some new maps probably. Maybe different modes, duos, and shit like that. But they can't add progression fast enough to where people would want to stick around and grind for it. Because it's already, I mean, that ship is basically sailed, in my view. So
yeah.
But yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you on that, Chris.
Well, hopefully they've got something planned for this, but I think it's going to take multiple layers of just, like you said, the call signs and all that stuff. That's good and all, but like I heard y'all talking on another podcast about the possibility of another map, and you were talking about how Anaya Palace is not in the Warzone map. Well, I did some looking at previous games, and I counted like 17 desert-themed maps that you could put together with Anaya Palace to create a second map fairly quickly.
Interesting.
Yeah, I never thought about that. This game doesn't have a desert region at all, does it?
I mean, you could maybe count Boneyard, but not really. Yeah, there's nothing really deserty.
The cave one.
Oh, Azir Cave. Yeah. So you're talking about just desert map, like Ramaza, Azir, shit like that.
Yeah, Ramaza, Anaya Palace, and then you go back to some of the earlier maps like Dome and Crossfire.
Yeah.
District.
What was the other map? MW2. Afghan.
Yeah. Afghan. Dude,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense, actually, and I doubt anybody has ever thought about that. That makes a lot of sense, because a lot of those maps, I know, like Backlot, I don't know if Crossfire was, but some of those maps were already in the files as well.
Ooh, that's a good point.
So that could have some sort of meaning to it. I mean, a lot of BR games don't put out a second map for a long time. But yeah, it could be something they've already been working on, and who knows, they'll release when the game kind of starts to die off in a couple months or something.
Yeah.
And they need to bring it back to life. They have that ready to go. That makes sense.
It does make sense. And it could be, too, like we were saying, Tanner, they might, because I hear you about they're not going to release another BR map forever, but they could just cobble together some maps that are already in the files and then release like a smaller Warzone map,
Yep. I'd be fine with a smaller one, too.
That would be awesome, but how long would that keep people engaged for? Like without any other progression and stuff. Like I never played this game more than when I was almost done with Damascus. I was playing every day for like hours, and it was fun. So even if I think they should add a second Warzone map for sure, but I still think they're not going to. So this is almost a moot point because they would have done it for multiplayer by now if they were going to do it for Warzone, I think. But they should be adding. I mean, because think of all the post-launch call signs they've added. They're all in challenges for each season, and there's like 10 at a time that are not hard to do, So if they did it for Warzone, they would do it probably at about that tempo. So I just wish they would have some that are like really hard to get that people would like really want to try and get. Like get 20 kills in one game. That'd be really fucking hard and you'd have to really try for that. And you have to play a lot. And it would give you, there would be more impetus to like grind it out, get really good at it, in my opinion. You know?
Yeah.
But I definitely could see Anaya plus some other desert maps being added to the game for sure. That would be that would make sense, and it wouldn't be that hard for them to do, I don't think.
That's kind of how PUBG did it. Their first map was more like, I guess it was kind of a little bit of everything. But then they had one that was more just straight desert, one that's a forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good thought. We'll see. I don't think the devs are that smart to do it, but that would be a really good idea.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean,
if I could get any map back, I would love to play Afghan just because that's the
that map is
best
so
match I've ever had. 53 and 3 on one level. That's come on.
Damn.
Yeah.
In sixes, that's impressive too. Because there's not that many people to kill, so 53 is quite a fragging. Quite a fragging.
That was such a fun map.
Yeah, it was a good map.
Just camping in that bunker.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss COD 4. Tanner and I are trying to get. We're gonna play COD 4, hopefully Friday.
That one's not in COD 4. That's what is.
Oh, that's MW2. That's right.
That first came in MW2, huh?
Yeah, it's MW2. Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll play it eventually.
Yeah, figure it out.
All right. Well, Chris, thank you for the call, brother. I appreciate it. Good question. We will see if Anaya does get implemented into the next Warzone map. And if it does, we will be sure to give you all the credit.
Yeah, it's true. Thanks for the call.
You're very much welcome. I appreciate it. And stay humble.
Stay humble, dude.
Stay humble.
All right, brother.
Let's go.
Have a good one. All right, first call in. First call in. Pretty successful. Do you still have my stream open?
Yeah.
No drop frames or anything?
Not at all.
Okay, because it says I've dropped 20% of my frames, so that's very weird.
So I haven't noticed anything.
I hope it.
I mean, I don't have sound on, obviously, but
it doesn't
I haven't
look
seen anything
like
visually.
crazy. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's working. So, anyway, good call. Really good call. I'm liking this segment. So, if you guys listening, by the way, ever wanted to call in, again, join the Discord and make sure you find the call-in application section, fill it out. Again, it's really small. I just ask your name, what platform you're on, how long you've been playing, and then a little summary of your question. And that call is like the perfect template for how we want to conduct these calls. It's not going to be like you ask a question and then we hang up on you and answer it. It's going to be more of like a little conversation around that question. So that was a good question. But if you also wanted to ask like, hey, I'm struggling to, whatever, do well on Grozna Raid. What should I do? I would say leave the match and play a better map because that map's awful. No, but we could we could ask you some clarifying questions and go on. But that any question really will do. So, and that was a good one to for our inaugural call-in. So thank you very much, Chris, a.k.a. Damascus Impaler. That was very enjoyable. And I do like the thought of 8 fucking Navy boys just fucking landing it up on some submarine or something. They probably weren't on a submarine. They definitely weren't on a submarine.
They weren't on a submarine.
But still, like on some big ass fucking ship, just like just below deck fragging out. That's a funny thought in my head. I like it. I very much like it. So, anyways, we're going to move on here to our last section. This is something I've wanted to talk about because everyone on Twitter, all of these fucking idiots on Twitter are saying there is skill-based matchmaking in Warzone. Now, one of the devs, it was either on Reddit or on Twitter, explicitly said excuse me, there is no skill-based matchmaking in Warzone or Plunder. They explicitly said it. And then after this statement, all of these kids on Twitter are still saying, fake news, there is skill-based matchmaking, all my games are so hard, blah, blah, blah. Now, there's a reason they all think that, right? There's some reason. But I don't think the reason is skill-based matchmaking. Because if it was skill-based matchmaking and they explicitly said it wasn't, and then on some very outside chance they got caught, that is massive, massive fallout for that. They wouldn't risk saying there's no skill-based matchmaking if there was. They would treat it exactly the same as skill-based matchmaking in sixes. They would just never comment on it. There's a reason they're not going to lie to you about sixes skill-based matchmaking. They'll just stay silent. So why would they change their policy when it comes to Warzone? So they're not going to lie to you about skill-based matchmaking for sixes, but they are going to lie to you about Warzone? Why? There's no reason for doing that. So I think there's no way that they have implemented skill-based matchmaking. However, here's what I think did happen. I think they segregate the Warzone lobbies from players who have bought the full game. In other words, players who have the full multiplayer campaign experience. And then separate lobbies for free-to-play players who have never played the game before and they only have Warzone available. I think that's how they've separated the player base, which is kind of like skill-based matchmaking, but not really. Because obviously, if you have fucking Damascus and you've been playing multiplayer all the time and then Warzone drops, you're going to be way better than someone who's never played this game before. So their thinking was probably, we're going to separate the free-to-play players who have never played the game at all from the paid players who are at least familiar with the game. But inside of the paid player lobby base, I don't think they do skill-based matchmaking. So what this allows them to do is still protect noobs who are free to play, but they can also say there's no skill-based matchmaking. And technically they're not lying. I guarantee you that's what they're doing. I virtually guarantee you that's what's going on. So for all of you out there who think this is skill-based matchmaking, I don't think that's the case. What I think it is that, again, you're in lobbies with other people who have bought the full game, so they're not complete dog shit. That is my theory. Tanner, were you persuaded by... So Tanner, by the way, before I floated this theory, was 100% convinced there was skill-based matchmaking.
Wrong. Play the horn. Play the. Yeah,
Okay.
That's fucking wrong. I wasn't convinced. I just thought it was interesting how everyone thought that. I didn't have a fucking clue, but your idea makes so much sense, more sense than anything. So I agree with that. And like you're saying, why would they lie? And I just pulled it up. This says CLG Marksman on Twitter. This is from March 10th when Warzone was coming out. Direct from Pat Kelly, development ward at Infinity Ward. And I quote, "There is no skill-based matchmaking in any of the larger player count modes of Modern Warfare."
Okay.
Meaning Warzone and Ground War.
And Plunder, probably. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Warzone, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm agreeing with you, because have you killed anybody that was like below rank 50 ever?
I
VR
never
or Plunder?
I never
haven't.
pay attention. I've never looked.
Pay attention. Pay attention next time. So,
But of all the kills I've gotten, when they have their custom loadouts, they're always like gold M4s and shit. So I don't remember everyone I've killed, but everyone that I have remembered has been a multiplayer player. So that comports with my theory. So make sure you guys clip this and send it to all your friends and tweet it at the biggest name streamers who think they're skill-based matchmaking so that they can be educated on this topic. And unfortunately for those people, since there's no skill-based matchmaking, you will not be able to reverse boost your way into a dog shit Warzone lobby. So keep that in mind. So we played a little more Warzone, Tanner. What are your thoughts on it?
It goes up and down. It honestly, I think it depends who our third is and how good the player base is. I feel like it's gotten maybe a little better since solos came out, because a lot of the real sweaty kids are just like, I don't want to play with any teammates. They bring me down. I want to play solos. So that took away some of the better BR players, which is good for us because we're not great at BRs. All in all, there's still all the issues that we've talked about in previous episodes, which I'm not going to mention because you're just going to have to go listen to those episodes. So figure it out.
So make sure you go listen to episode 11, The Trouble with Warzone, if you wanted to hear us get into all of the myriad troubles we have with Warzone. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, I'm kind of liking Warzone better now just because this is the first BR I've played more than 3 matches on ever. I hated PUBG. I hated PUBG because it was a BR and I have too much ADD for BRs. And I hated Fortnite because on top of being a BR, it was also really dumb that you could build shit. I hate that. I'm here to click on heads. I'm not here to fucking roleplay as Jesus, the carpenter of Nazareth. So I really hated Fortnite, and the aesthetic was not great. It catered to 12-year-olds very obviously, which is fine as a business model, but it's just not for me. So I had like no experience with BRs in general. So at first I didn't like Warzone because I'm fucking terrible at it. And I was just rushing way too much, getting killed from behind, like getting third partied all the time. And that's definitely still happening, but a lot less. I'm more familiar with the strategy, when to get out of the gas, how to play things. Like anything, you play it more, you get smarter, you get better. So we've had that experience. So I've been liking it more, but yeah, just like Tanner said, all the same problems I had with it in the last episode, I still have with it. The only reason I'm liking it more now is because I'm getting a little better at it. But that has nothing to do with the fact that the game experience has grown on me or anything. That's not the case. My enjoyment with it has risen with a 1-to-1 relationship to my like skill level increasing. So not much, but some more. Solos are kind of cool. I'll enjoy streaming those. I think they're fun. It's kind of nice to like make unilateral decisions for your whole team, which you can do when you're by yourself. Obviously, you don't have to like come up with a strategy or where you want to go or anything. And I feel like I got third partied a lot less in solos. You can play it a lot like safer or whatever, but at the same time, playing solos kind of sucks because like Tanner and I play a lot. So if we're both on, we're not going to do solos, obviously. So we are just really hoping for fucking duos. I think that'll be pretty goddamn fun because we don't have a third we like play with a lot. So duos would be perfect for us as far as war zones. Do you think you'll have much more fun with duos?
I would have so much more fun. For one, again in BRs, I never liked solos and I never liked squads of 4 either. Or I mean, 3 is kind of a new thing.
3s is weird.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, even in Fortnite and H1Z1, PUBG, I only like duos. I don't really know why, other than I feel like it's one less person talking that you have to listen to.
True.
One less person you have to pay attention to where they're at. You know, that person's hanging behind, then they get killed, then you go back to help them, and then they're dead. If it's 2 people, you're more likely, in my opinion, to stick together, play more team-oriented.
Yeah, it's easier to coordinate for sure.
Yeah, so I like that. I mean, it's just easier, too, because you down one guy, and then you know, okay, he's down. Let's find his teammate, kill him. In trios, you got to worry about, okay, there's one guy down. Doesn't really matter. There's still 2 alive shooting at me.
Yeah.
And if our third teammate is a half mile away driving in a car, then we're going to, you know, we don't have that much of an advantage to win that gunfight as we would if it was duos. And it's pissing me off because I'm not hearing a lot of people talk about duos. Everyone wanted solos and everyone wants squads of 4. They just have more friends than us. I just want to play duos. It doesn't seem like it's that hard. even if in their opinion it doesn't play as well, I want solos, duos, trios, and squads of 4 in the game. I think all should be in the game, and there should be no issue with that.
What does it mean that it doesn't play that well? Do they mean it in the way like it wouldn't be as fun? Or do they mean like the server infrastructure like lags more when there's duos? It has to be the first one, right?
Yeah, it has to be. And I don't understand their reasoning on that.
That's also not their call to make.
In regards to duos, yeah. Because I mean, obviously they're not the best at play testing.
Yeah,
because there was a lot of
absolutely.
Imagine
true.
play testing Azir Cave Piccadilly and thinking that was an okay map to put out. So I don't care what they have to say.
Yeah,
frankly.
Preach, brother, preach. Yeah.
So just give me duos, and I'll decide if it's good or not.
Exactly. Yeah. But with that said, I think we can expect duos very soon, like in the next week. I wouldn't be surprised if we got duos. If we get 4s before duos, I'm going to be fucking furious, by the way.
I think we will.
I will be fucking pissed if we do. Cobalt, welcome back, dude. Welcome back, brother. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. So, but yeah, I'm excited for duos. And then almost finally, Plunder, the other Warzone game mode. What are your thoughts?
Plunder, I had surprisingly a lot of fun with. We had a third last night, my brother-in-law, so that was good. It would have been even better if he was in Discord. That would have made things easier. I feel like we actually could have won.
He's
we were
a
doing
console
good.
peasant, so
yeah, we started learning things though, like the contracts, the plane drop.
Yeah,
we still have more to learn. That was getting hype though. I mean, way more hype than we've ever had in Warzone. You know, we were trying to deposit the cash while you're getting shot at. There's 3 teams pushing from different angles. We're all fighting each other.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just had way more fun with that. I like that you can respawn. You spawn with your kit. It's not so much like, it's not a battle royale. It's just a different game mode than I've pretty much ever played in anything.
Uh-huh.
So I enjoy that. I think that's fun. But again, there's not much to keep me playing. There's, I don't get anything for playing besides having fun, which I don't give a shit about in 2020. Give me something for it. Give me a trophy. Give me a participation trophy, something.
Amen. Preach, dude. Preach. Yeah, I agree with all that. Plunder is really fun, and it is totally unlike any other game mode. Like, completely. Actually, kudos to the dev team who thought up that whole concept, because it's literally unlike anything I've ever seen. Like, it's so weird and different. We went over the details of Plunder on our episode titled Warzone. I think it was episode 9 or 10. I think it was episode 10. So you can go back into the archives and check that out if you want to hear more about the Plunder game type, if you've never played it. It definitely helps to have a team on that one. That's also 3s. Yeah, some really hype moments, really fun. And there's a lot of strategy in that too, which is cool. And there was definitely more to learn for us. Not having to deal with the gas, not having to pick up a loadout, not having to worry about dying that much since you can just respawn. All fun. Definitely a casual type of game. It's not something you're going to take super seriously, probably. Which is probably why like no one streams Plunder. Like, we haven't seen anyone streaming Plunder. Any of these big name streamers.
I found a streamer I enjoyed.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. But other than that, like, yeah, it's cool. It's a fun party mode. That's a good game mode to play when you're having some drinks with the boys on a Saturday night and you just want to fuck around. Just let's go play some Plunder. We'll go after the top earners and just keep feeding, or fragging.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing. We were having a lot of fun and we were losing. We don't have fun when we lose in Warzone. We don't have fun when we lose in multiplayer. I mean, it could just be because it was newer, but I don't know. It was still hype and we were still getting a lot of kills. That's the main thing I noticed. Is like, oh, damn, we got 7th place. Hey, I still had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of fun moments for sure. So that was cool. Do you think there's ever going to be Plunder like solos or 4s or 2s?
I don't know. As of now, it seems like there's not many people playing it, so...
Yeah, that's a good point.
We'll see.
That's a good point. Cobalt! With fucking 2 more gifted subs, dude. This guy is on a tear. 5 gifted subs. Jesus Christ, dude. Cobalt, thank you very fucking much, man. I'm honored. I'm humbled. I'm privileged. What an awesome fucking person, dude. Let me get some Razano goods in here. So, by the way, if you're listening again, follow the Twitch, twitch.tv/Razanon. Join the conversation. Thank you very much for those gifted subs, Young King. And congratulations to Walker, California, and Smiley. Welcome back, brother. Congrats on that sub. Welcome, boys, to this small, humble community, dude. Cobalt, thank you so much, man. Fucking really appreciate it, dude. Hell fucking yeah, brother. Those 5 subs, dude. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, man. Thank you. Speaking of money, for my Californians, excuse me, for my Americans out there, Trump and Steve Mnuchin are thinking of cutting a check to every red-blooded American in the goddamn country. Pretty crazy, right? You think it's going to happen, Tanner?
No, I don't.
Did you see the press conference?
So, I didn't, because I'm not 58 and watching CNN or Fox News, so I didn't.
Okay.
I did. The only thing I saw was he signed that bill, something to do with the paid time off or something. That was the only thing I heard about.
Yeah. Interesting. There's obviously been a ton of news about the coronavirus. I'm not going to get into all of it. And a lot of it would require too much elucidation. And most of you probably wouldn't be interested. But what everyone's interested in is getting a check in the mail for no goddamn reason other than the fact that there is a pandemic sweeping the globe. And they're floating numbers from like $750 to like $3,000 per American. Maybe some bonus cash if you have kids. And they said this in a press conference, like they're seriously thinking about it, I think yesterday. So the fact that they said that makes me think it's actually going to happen. Because how pissed would everyone be if they just baited everyone and we're like, oh, we're really thinking about it. And then they just didn't do it. Like teasing like that for the first time, you know? I don't think they would do that, especially because Trump is obviously running for re-election. I think if he's going to tease everyone like that, he's going to actually send those checks. So
yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So it's pretty smart. That'd be pretty nice, I guess. I don't know how it would impact the global economy, but everything I'm hearing from Republicans and Democrats are saying it's a good idea. And if we can spend up $1.5 trillion on the stock market to keep it afloat for exactly 5 minutes before it tanks again, then we could probably spend a couple bills on, the average American. So interesting stuff. And then the last thing I wanted to say is look at how little news we covered or patches we covered for multiplayer today. There was like a playlist update and that's it. Like when was the last big multiplayer update? Season 2?
Jesus Christ.
Besides that, we got a new shotgun, which we very briefly went over. That came out with Warzone. I got it max level. It's fucking awful, by the way. So if you were thinking of using that shotgun, don't. Every shotgun is better. Like literally every one. It's fucking trash. So keep that in mind. And this is what I think is going to continue happening because of Warzone. So let me catch up on the chat here real quick. Who's Dax, aka Chris, changed his Twitch handle again. Just shaved for the first time. I usually always just go for the barber, but can't because Corona. And now I feel naked and fresh. I shaved earlier today too. I don't shave for aesthetics, but I have just enough facial hair for it to make me itch and it pisses me off. So I shaved for that reason. But I'm glad you're feeling fresh and naked. That sounds nice. Did you hear about the internet going down because of coronavirus? I heard things about people having issues. That could be why I'm dropping frames, or it says I am. Because no one's at work and everyone's just sitting at home watching Netflix. So they're taking up my bandwidth and it's pissing me off. So yeah. I did hear a little bit about that, yeah. It's about to go down here in a month or so. I hope not, dude. I hope not. Shave my Johnson too. Okay, I'll keep that in mind, Chris.
Yeah.
But so anyway, Tanner and I were talking about this last night over some beers. Warzone is like the death knell of multiplayer, because as long as Warzone is popular, like there's a finite amount of dev time and resources they can spend on multiplayer. And Tanner and I are not really huge fans of BRs. Even if they did every change we said they should do for BRs, we still would not prefer them to multiplayer. We are at core multiplayer players. And I think most of the Call of Duty player base is, because that's what Call of Duty's always been known for and famous for, is not the BR, it's the multiplayer. And the fact that they are hyping up all of these Warzone playlists, all this Warzone news, and they've said hardly anything in the way of multiplayer is really disconcerting to me, because it makes me think that their attention is focused on the BR aspect of the game, and that they're going to spend a ton of time developing new and exciting shit for that, like new maps, new modes, etc. And that's going to take away from any new multiplayer content, whether that be multiplayer maps or new guns, or new challenges or whatever. And I'm pretty confident that you agree with that, Tanner.
Yeah, and we had this conversation when the BR rumors were first leaked months ago. I mean, actually, when the game came out, it was already leaked. It was coming at some point, but we had talked about this, and we had this conversation. I was like, dude, BR coming out would be bad for this game. Like, in terms of multiplayer, bad for us. Great for a lot of people. Everyone that loves BR, great. You're having a blast. But for us who mostly just want to play multiplayer, it's not good for us. It takes away, you know, they're just focusing on that, and multiplayer gets pushed to the side.
Yep.
And that's not a great time. I mean, there's still supposed to be another map and another operator sometime this season. That needs to release. If that doesn't come out this coming week, then I don't know what they're doing. It should have already came out like this week.
And we've heard no news of season 3 either.
Well, they won't do that until the hour before it's released. So they don't. Yeah, their marketing strategy isn't the best.
It's not the best.
Marketing person.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I think I could have fun with Plunder if we find a third who actually plays with us.
And duos. I'm optimistic about that. But
yeah, duos. Once duos come out, I think I'll be actually excited. Until then, I honestly don't really care to play Battle Royale anymore. I was playing earlier with Backstreet and his buddy.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, it's like it was all right. Like, we were doing decent, but I even told them we lasted a long time. You know, we each probably got 5 kills at least. We end the game, we were in like 21st place. I'm like, dude, we just played for like 20 minutes, killed a bunch of people. How are we still only 21st? And again, they both said the same thing. There's too many ways to respawn. The gulag system needs to go. It makes 0 sense.
That's not to mention Itchy's biggest problem with this is that aim assist is even more OP in Warzone than it is in multiplayer. So if you're on PC, you're at a real disadvantage. Because the farther away someone is, the better aim assist is for you. Because if you can, it's harder to stick on target without aim assist when someone's really far than it is with, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's another problem, but that's probably for another episode. So any other thoughts here, Tanner?
No more thoughts whatsoever. No.
All right. Friday night, what are we playing?
I don't know. We could try COD 4 for a bit, but we're probably just going to end up playing Plunder or something, to be honest.
No, it's a Flashback Friday stream.
Okay. Well, all I have is COD 4, and I'm not playing that for more than an hour. I'll be bored.
What about BO4?
I'm not going to install BO4.
Okay.
I'll think about it, but...
Okay. All right, so that is it for us. Once again, peep my stream, twitch.tv/Razanon. Besides the podcast, I do play the video game on here. I am now going to be doing Flashback Fridays, which is a yikes name, but it's thematic, so deal with it. And I'm just going to be playing old Call of Duties on Friday nights because I don't work the next day. I get to stay up late, drink if I want. I don't have an alcohol problem. I really don't. I used to in college. So
You did, yeah.
those will be BO1, BO2, BO3, BO4, World War II, COD 4. I'll get MW2 soon eventually. So basically like any old Call of Duty that actually has a multiplayer base. Like I bought Advanced Warfare and then there was literally no lobbies. So I refunded it. So you're not going to get an Advanced Warfare throwback stream because there's no lobbies. But for every old COD that has old lobbies, I will play it on Fridays and I will make Tanner get them and he will play them with me. So if you wanted to see one in particular, tweet me. Tell me what you want to see. Again, any game that has lobbies on PC, I will play. So that is it for episode 12 of the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast. Thank you very much for watching, Young Kings. Don't forget 5 stars on iTunes. It would help the show a lot. And peep my stream, my Twitch. I was going to merge those words. You can find me there and pretty much everywhere at Razinon, Razinon, in addition to Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you wanted to see the video version of this, you can find those on YouTube. Just search for Razinon or the Dropshot. You'll find them there. I have a playlist on my channel of every episode with video. You can see mine and Tanner's beautiful faces. Tanner, where can people find you?
Twitter at TANNERRRR54.
So
haven't changed it, so keep that in mind.
So what you guys are going to do is follow Tanner at TANNERRRR54 and then tweet at TANNERRRR54. Change your handle. It's too long. That's going to be the first thing you do when you get on Twitter next. And that's the only place he is. I'm going to try and get him to stream soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, Young Kings. I'll be back Friday. Have an excellent day. And as always, remember, stay humble.